Hi there, I hope everything's okay. This is a deep reflection on adaptation, and I hope it will be useful for you, as there are many changes you are possibly going through. I'd like to start with the worst way to adapt, just like a frog. It's not a legend. It did happen to me, yeah. I was at our beach house, and my grandmother and I were living somewhere. She left a huge on the stove with water for boiling, and later she would cook our lunch. We took some time, and when we are finally back, she said lunch would take longer than she expected. I asked why, and she told me while we were out, a frog jumped in the pot. Yeah, it is an analogy that indicates many times we change without thinking, without preparing ourselves. The idea is that the frog, by seeing water, will think of it as a nice pool, and because it adapts easily to the environment, it wouldn't realize it's boiling until it cooks itself. It represents that person who works so hard to earn money, and yet they do not perceive their health deteriorating. Or the couple who stop talking in the evenings, they didn't even realize. It's so common that probably you, I, we all have been a frog, and more than one time, and we didn't even realize. Now let's use another analogy, and from now on, only focusing on the positive adaptations. A few years ago, I went to a beautiful river about 3 hours from Bogota. It surprised me that instead of sand, its bed was rock. I suppose that a volcano erupted a long time ago and its lava turned into the bed over which water has been constantly flowing. It was so nice that even a dog was kind of surfing there. But a long time before that, it was a dangerous place. I imagine how it was the devastation by lava. Many things in our lives have been as destructive as a volcano. They finished the relationship, there was a failure and even desperation. But with the cool water of love, peace, meditation, and a good friend, it was possible to turn it into a pleasant memory, valuable experience, or a positive learning process. Adapt and live the positive outcome, changing the love of the past into a formidable present. Now, my favorite place in the United States is in the Catskill Mountains, state of New York, and it's called Peace Village, a retreat place. Some seasons ago, I noticed a plant that was born on a rock, over. And along with the years, I saw how it has grown, even so it has never had much soil. Not much sunlight there either. Most of the time it's cloudy or snowy. And yet, it has grown against all odds. We have in our lives several plants on a rock, talents, qualities, dreams. They are in us, but they don't have the soil of education, opportunities, endeavor. And yet, they grow. For some reason, beyond reason, they turn big. And you know what? Rocks have some soil, a bit of land that comes from the wind, and much more things that nurture the little sapling. A person lends their ear to you. You read a beautiful book or watch an inspiring movie. You meditate and things become so clear. And then that little forgotten thing you probably put away in some inner shelf becomes part of your life. The last possible adaptation is same thing as former example, but it's closer to my home here, Bogota, a city with the most difficult environment to understand. The weather here is quite humid, and at the same time, it is dry, very dry. So cactus at a garden is a common image around here. Amazingly enough, near my place there is a cactus that was born on a rock too. It's a similar to the former analogy, but how can a cactus can be in a weather like this? The weather is the environment we have to live. It's the support family of very difficult children. It's an amazing, exciting job or a very boring one. That environment influences our growth and the way we adapt to the change as we become a cheerful person, a grumpy old man, an entrepreneur, or just an employee that, well, they try as hard as possible to avoid working beyond their duties. And yet, someone can turn wise instead of grumpy, or change career. As humans, we can be creative. We can think out of the box and reinvent our life. No matter the situation would be living, our personal weather. So what's your way to adapt to change? Leave your comments there and send this video to whoever you want. Bye bye. Take care.